Hey everybody, Texas Joker here, Alliance of Performance Shop, StarMopars.com. Gonna do something a little different here for you. I kind of wanted to get this done already, haven't had time, but we're gonna be covering some stuff. KC Tool, we got Dark Gray Friday, early Black Friday stuff. Similarly, we've got some other SEMA based sales, and we've got new products across the board here. Gonna try and just kind of throw everything in what hopefully, even by my standards, will be relatively quick. Now, first and foremost, I always do my best to tell you that the Wera Advent Calendar is coming. Get ready. I try to tell you when it's in stock, and I do that because if you want it, you can get it for MSRP now. If you wait and they sell out, you'll either not get it or wind up paying way more money than this. Not something you have to get. You can totally spoil it. I try to kind of keep that behind closed doors so we don't ruin it, but I think you probably already know what's in there. Whether it's you, whether you're buying it for your husband, your wife, kids, whatever, the thing is available. It's in stock. You won't have trouble now. Do with this information what you will. Again, nothing I link down below is anything but a link. It's no affiliate links, none of that stuff. Need to make a video on that crud too. But this is really the big thing. This is Dark Gray Friday #1, as you can conveniently see from this graphic. The way KC Tool does this, if they follow their historic protocol, at least in the time I've been involved in following, you get a pretty good deal on Black Friday. It's usually like a set discount. Don't hold me to that. I don't have anything definitive. I'm just basing this on the past. But leading up to the actual Black Friday, day after Thanksgiving, you've got a series of Dark Gray Fridays. This is not just Friday. This is an entire week or until supplies sell out. Now, you're thinking, until they sell out, what are you talking about? Well, right here. You see 5 tools on sale. For example, we'll just start here with the Felo T-handles. I love those things. Use them all the time. I have that exact set magnetically attached to the cart at work, and then I have the OG red handles magnetically attached to a cart at the house shop. You'll note that is not a misprint. That is 50% off. These are really good deals. Some things like this, you're like, oh, I've already got those. You know, hey, do you need a set? Would you like a set in your truck? Would you like a set at work, a set at home? Something you're like, hey, that'd be a great gift for so-and-so. This is when you cash in on deals, all right? If you don't need them, you don't need them. It is what it is. But first 5, you've got the Felo T-handles. We've got the Stavilla hard shell case set. We have got the Hazette double open-end metric. You've got the Knipex. If you've ever been like, man, I really want to get Knipex and try extend, well, there's a pretty universal combo plier set for $22. And again, 43% off. And then you've got sort of just a small impact rated bit set from Wera. So what I can tell you about this, and they do a really good job trying, some people might think it's only Friday and you missed it. You did not. Now, let's say that this was just insanely popular. Say that was a pair of twin grips and extend handles and it was like 78% off. It's gonna sell out. You will miss it, okay? But it's still in stock, still for sale. Right here, they conveniently, for your viewing pleasure, have the entire schedule. You got 2 days, 10 hours to cash in on Dark Gray Friday 1. Here's the release times for week 2, 3, 4, and the actual Black Friday. Again, if you do this, if you sign up, you'll get notified just like I do. So very important to cover that, because again, I think a lot of people, it doesn't quite register. They're like, oh, I didn't know, or I thought it was only Friday. It's available. Like I said, if it's a highly sought after item or just an insane, like put this pair of pliers at like 80% off, I can almost guarantee you it's gone, okay? Sometimes it's a really good deal. Sometimes it's a good deal. Sometimes you're like, yeah, I don't really need that. It's not that big of a discount. Do with it what you will. I just want you to be aware it's happening, and you're going to see it continually refresh. Moving on, they have added a gift ideas. Again, I'll have all of this linked. I don't make a dime. You can buy everything on the page. They have done this kind of, I don't think I've ever seen them do it by price point before. So that's kind of cool. That's pretty much what all the websites do. We'll just skim through this. Again, I am trying to go quick. We will highlight this item and maybe one more thing. Let me open that in a new tab. Stavilla pliers again. This is ideas. Note, you're not seeing 50% off underneath them. Some things there'll be discounts, some things there's not. That thing right there is super underrated. Great deals usually can be had on pliers from Gador. You get the idea. There is a page 2. All right. This has not come in stock yet, little Porsche Motorsport. They do have the screwdrivers in, and I don't think the torque wrenches come in. But again, peruse at your own leisure. Right here, though, this is limited time. Some people collect this stuff. Some of you, if you're like, oh, I haven't really bought the twin grips yet. Hey, if you hate red handles, if you want something unique or different from everyone else in the shop, here you go. Similarly, if you're like, oh man, I would have really liked that, but I love those pliers. I've had them for years now. It's a gift. It's a collectible. Do with it what you will. Again, and it is limited to what degree, I do not know. But it makes a nice gift, again, especially if you love the pliers and you just want to pass that along to somebody. So the other thing I want to do here, I did ask, I think I can disclose this, it would be common knowledge. But as you know, I have been a big fan of both Stavilla and Rivet Advent Calendars. It's kind of hit and miss. Sometimes it's something I've got and it would just be like totally redundant. Sometimes it's like, whoa, cash cow. The savings are insane. I don't think they're going to get them this year. As you know, there's a lot of crazy stuff in the world, and there are a lot of Wera Advent Calendars. They brace themselves. They prepare for that. Same thing with Felo. Now, technically, if you're across the pond, this was like the 2024. But Felo relatively wisely does not date these, so no one's the wiser, right? And this one's actually kind of cool. Spoiler alert, if you don't want to see this, click away now. I have amazing internet, if I haven't stressed that enough. There we go. But this is what you get. I know a lot of people actually collect the old school folding rulers, but you get an ergonomic handle, you get their hex keys, you get the switcheroo here. Those are pretty cool. If you didn't know, it folds out into a T-handle, and you get a little bit box. So again, keep that in mind. It's available as well. Wiha, I've been doing some more stuff with their line. Something I was ticked off about is right here. When I placed this last order, it was like International Tradesperson Day or something. I got some cool stuff. I wanted to get these impact sockets. Not necessarily that I think the impact sockets are going to be a great quality or, blow everything else out of the water. It's probably the opposite of that. But the organizer, as you know, I have to see things for myself and try it out. It like rotates around that. And you're thinking like, dude, you should have bought that and showed it to us. When I tried to buy that, it was like brand new. I think it might have hit the website within 48 hours. And it let me add it to the cart, but it said it was not available for sale in my area. And I was like, well, screw you. And so I didn't get it. I'll probably bring them in eventually. Again, I would probably view this like I would with maybe some hybrid between Pittsburgh and Capri quality. But it's those organizers that kind of have me intrigued. It's almost like they rotate around that stem. Maybe in 360 you can see a little adapter held here. I think they would actually be really good for, dare I say it, an in-car kit. This is also kind of like, I guess, their take on like the Klein mod boxes and stuff. I haven't really dabbled much in that, but I am here for a reason. And it's not the new stuff. It is, well, actually, you know what? We're going to do this first. We'll run quickly through the Q4 Pro Picks. Again, I should probably make like shorter videos like this throughout all the time. Once more, my internet is just absolutely fantastic. Spinning circle up there, I tell you. This is just kind of like their quarterly sale. And what I mean by that, you can see here, October 1st to December 31st. So when will we have another big sale from Wiha? Well, it'll be their quarterly sale January 1st. Okay. Every 3 months type of a deal. They cycle different products. This is kind of cool. We'll just cover it here. You get the, I believe that's the 10-piece soft finish. Can't go wrong there. This is appealing to me just to try. I want to see if I like that or the custom ratchet I made. I kind of think I'm going to like my micro finish better, but I don't know till I try. You get I think that's the really good bit holder that I've had for like 4 years or more and never made a video on. And then everything that would interchange there in the wallet, precision screwdrivers in the stand, the tool bags, the little ESD Pro Box, insulated drivers. Right here, this is, I believe, the magic ring. Will come down. This is just a quick look. You can kind of see $95 would be their MSRP. You're getting them for $55. Killer deal. $321 to $199 if you're going hardcore into precision stuff. These are actually the magic ring. That is their holding function. That's a pretty solid buy. You get the deal. They usually have pretty decent pricing. Now be careful. I mentioned this in a recent video. Do not confuse these. If you think like, well, hey, it's $12 cheaper here, I'm going to buy that set moron. Don't do that if you want the holding function. All right, buyer beware. Take some time, read the fine print, do this, at your own pace. But let's jump back over here because the top section is SEMA. That is right. And while we're not there in Vegas and we have a lot of time to build a leadway here, this is a sale for you and I, up to 45% off. So case in point, if you're like, I'm getting foam tray, big time, almost half off. No, you're not. Maybe 35%. Wrenches 45, sockets up to 44. Again, you check it out. If you want me to go into greater detail, I certainly can, but now is not the time because I want to jump in over here. When I was at work and finally got to eat lunch, I came in like I routinely do and checking new stuff. I was actually excited by the black card. I've been considering getting these. I don't know if they could hold the weight of what I want to put on them. That would be at work. It would be very heavy. But I just kind of sometimes need to move the stuff and it's always in the floor, and I've considered doing this. The gray is the default. That's probably what you recognize. This is actually kind of cool too because I think they just had the two-step before. This I was very excited about. The gas struts on the trunk of the Challenger. I was whacked hard. Man, like early summer when the battery just totally, if you're not familiar with the LXLC platforms, your battery's in the trunk. Great for weight transfer, great for racing, great for a clean engine bay. Terrible, absolutely terrible when the battery dies, because guess what you can't do? Get in your car. All right. So in my case, in the Mopar 10, I have to go. Luckily, there's a manual key, right? So I get in. I have to fold the seat up. I have to fold down the rear seat. And then, of course, the M10 has cool stuff, suspension upgrades, right? So it's got the rear strut brace bar. Not fun. This is when I wish I was like dating some anorexic chick that could crawl back there for me. And I'm not, so I have to do it. But you have to run down. It's very nice that they put the glow-in-the-dark pull tab, and you get that. But it's just, I don't know if it's a time thing. I used to think it mainly happened in the winter when it was cold, and then it would like get warm up and it would not be an issue. I got decked, and I was like super pissed. I came in. I bought like two different. One of the ones I bought looks just like that. It may have been Lyle or CTA or vice versa. One of the ones I got has a ridiculous tag on it so you don't accidentally forget it. The other one's kind of like a red anodized color, and yes, I was miffed it wasn't available in other colors. But $6.99 is a pretty good price, and when I now, like out of instinct, just getting hit hard that one time, I brace the trunk lid. And I'm glad I did, because I literally reached in. I have to, of course, pull out all my tools and detailing stuff from the trunk every time to flip the flap up to get to the battery. And good Lord, I had it braced. I grabbed the bag. I turned around and sat it by the battery charger, and whack, trunk shut. So what do I have to do again? Crawl through. Good times. I might buy several of these, especially if I can pick them up on like the under $10 sale for a big discount. Pinch weld jacks, it might be exciting to some of you. This I was very excited about, and I'm not on social media much. I'm an email and YouTube guy, and virtually no one does email and YouTube. They primarily do social media. But this isn't even going to have it, but they've added blue metallic which looks really good. Now, this I will pop open. I've never made a full video. I do have the blue one. I think I picked it up like $12.99 for what it's worth. But they've added 3 new colors. The slate gray, the green, and a purple. But right here, there's really not a good way for me to do this. So we're going to go full screen. And we're just going to highlight a few things here. So these are some dudes at SEMA going to take us on a booth tour, and the first thing they talk about that they just casually mention is a huge thing for me right here. If you know, you know. Some of you probably know, most of you probably don't, and I'm not talking about that. I don't care about that surface conditioning tool, although it would be nice to have. That is a rivet gun. I shoot a ton of rivets. I have wanted this. I am actually someone. I'm not a dude that Harbor Freight sends stuff to. Okay. I make videos where I bag on them and say they need to do things. I do that as like a genuine fan of the place. I've made that perfectly clear over the years, just like lack of colors on your quote unquote professional line you compare to the tool trucks. I actually use Hercules. I got really pissed at Rigid because I got a blower during the Rona era, and it was dead on arrival, and they would do nothing for me. It was like the big one. I'm still equally mad, and I have not seen one here. Maybe it'll appear. I need a big blower. Like, not the little job site one is nice. Don't get me wrong. It always, like, the end falls off as I like oscillate it around trying to blow grass away. But I would like a bigger Hercules blower. I'm not asking for anything crazy. Just something in the 20-volt line that's slightly larger. I have no idea why we do not have a Hercules inflator. All right, those two things make a lot of sense to me. Slightly bigger blower and an inflator. I don't know where they are, particularly the inflator. Okay, I'll give them credit for having the job site blower. A pipe dream of mine would be the rivet tool. I get so pissed off with the complete craptacular quality of pneumatic rivet guns. Like, you do not understand this until you're like, some people are like, yeah, I mean, I put a gauge closer together, shot 4 rivets. Well, congratulations. You could have done that with a hand riveter. When you shoot thousands of rivets, okay, this is like limited to special things like I do, aviation. I'm sure there's tons of applications where somebody is going through 50 to 100 plus rivets per part, per unit assembly, right? And then you multiply that by insane numbers of units that you crank out. I'm using 72 and 82 at a time, so if I make 5 of something on the small side, that's 360. If I make the 82 5, it's 410. I go through a lot of rivets, okay? They're stainless. They are 3,000 per box, okay? It's a big deal. It is a huge deal to me. If you do not shoot a lot of rivets, you don't care about this. I care very much about this. The rivet guns. And if I film stuff at work, if I was like flat rate or just not busy or like everyone else apparently in the world and could go to work and do my own leisurely activities instead of actually working, I could make pretty cool videos. But every pneumatic rivet gun, there's some really expensive stuff like $1,800, $2,100. They're probably good. I don't know. I can't find anyone. I don't know, like, dudes that build their own Cessnas. They're like, oh yes, this Cherry one that costs $3,000 is well worth it, my friend. I don't know those people. Okay, I know people that you shoot stuff by hand and buy cheap stuff. There's not many people that do this professionally. I was so pissed off at the pneumatic rivet guns. I actually get talking to my Snap-on guy. They have a battery powered one, and it was made in Japan. And I tried really hard to figure out. I think at one point it might have been Lobster. It was something, a company I didn't think would make that type of a thing. And of course, he's never sold one and doesn't know jack about it. Okay. Around that same time, my Mac guy had one sitting on the truck from DeWalt, and I'm like, whoa, when did they do that? He's like, it was brand new. And I'm like, will you sell it? And he's like, no, that's for a garage door guy. I'm like, well, crud. So I was like registering that DeWalt had one, right? Harbor Freight had Chief out for a while. Their little turquoise ones were really, really good, the central pneumatic, and then they started phasing that out, and they get upgraded. You think upgraded because it has like a rubber boot or something. And I could spend hours talking about how much I hate rivet guns. But the quality on them has gone downhill. It does not matter what brand I buy. And most brands have like a lower price and a higher price. And I swear to you, they all come from the same place. Some of them choose chrome, some of them choose powder coat, some of them do cheap paint, some of them do one color, some do multicolor. The internals, all that stuff, the grease, I take these things apart, I service them, I rebuild them, I deal with the jaws on a certain style of them, I deal with the fact that you have to constantly add oil to the base on the other one. Nobody reads the instructions on these. Like, it's a pain in the butt. And currently, I finally, the mid-tier, the black one, it's not Chief, that was a piece. What is that? McGraw. The McGraw one has seemingly settled in to be my best bet. I bought a Chief one, I held it back exclusively for me. I got like 98 rivets out of it, and the thing is dead. It is not, it's just junk. I have to buy these things in advance, just like grinders from Milwaukee, which they've done away with cords. That's another video we should make. And I was to the point. I was like, screw this. And I went to the Mac guy. And again, you know, this is like a work purchase type of thing, so I haven't made a video on it. I loved the DeWalt Rivet Gun, and I say loved for a good reason. I think, to its credit, I got like 700-ish. I kept a count. I probably got it somewhere still. And I could pull up a text message with the dealer. I told him exactly how many it had done. I just grenaded it. I broke the whole thing. At the time, the Rivet Gun was so new, instead of it like getting repaired or sending me parts or something, I just got a brand new gun. That one is still with me. And I don't use it as often. I also did buy a red old school pneumatic one from the Mac guy. I haven't issued that one yet. I finally got a good run with McGraw going here. That's all the time I'm going to spend on it, but I am insanely excited about the Rivet Gun. That I cannot tell you. I might be the only guy. Some of you might buy it because you're like, oh, cool, you know, I didn't have a battery-powered Rivet Gun before. Battery life has been really good. The DeWalt came with it's a very small, I don't even know that it might be 2.5 amp hour. It lasts pretty good. I was very pleasantly surprised. So, again, I am someone that actually uses Hercules 12 and 20 volt tools, like in the real world, in a professional setting and at home. And this is huge to me. There's something bigger than this at this show, but it just kind of is a slap in the face. But this, I am excited about. So we're going to come through here. There's a good look at it. I mean, what a, ooh, man, if those are good, or if they have the 5-year warranty, they will regret selling those to me. Polishers, that's really cool. These impacts, I'm still rocking first generation stuff. It's been fine for what I'm doing. I still use air for all the heavy stuff. There's like a really fancy, this had a price point of $150. It's under development. That's kind of not a bad deal. It's basically like a rip-off of Lincoln, though. That looks like a pretty decent welder. They've added purple to the US General. There's the little mini boxes up there. It's very hard to tell. This is purple. That's the blue. This is purple. So yeah, we will jump around over here. There's the mini guys. Winches. I think this guy, yeah, right there, that blue metallic is really good. I've unfortunately had a Daytona jack for a long time. I got a really good one, but I just, at the time, they didn't have the cool stuff. I just have like orange. You know, I picked it for the Charger. Now they have sunburnt orange metallic, which oddly enough, I don't see the jack here. It looks like the stands are up there. And then this is a blue metallic. Looks really, really good. And if I ever had to replace it or add one, that's something I would definitely consider. Coming in, though, here we go. Now, this I can totally make a standalone video on. It is a G2 icon box. And you're thinking like, oh, I don't remember them having that slate gray color. They didn't. What was one of this? Comes from a guy that just recently purchased what you see in the back, the green icon, the original icon box, right? I had a very, very, very bad delivery experience with that. But anyway, I haven't gotten moved in. I haven't done a toolbox tour on it. It's just kind of a work in progress when I get time type of a thing. There was one really two things that I would change immediately to make it a better box. And it's not the depth. This is a 30-inch deep versus a 25. I'll tell you, the 30-inch is great if you have the space. A lot of times, the 30-inch, if it's on a wall with, say, a swing-through personnel door, and you're pulling cars in, or you have to store motorcycles, bikes, whatever, you know, the 30-inch might not be as great as you think it is. If you've got the space, though, it's awesome. I don't know the price. This is supposedly in development. I would tell Harbor Freight to please get a less gaudy G2 badge. I love the black trim. That was one of the sad things. You're like, there's black trim on that one. They didn't sell it as an option for blue or red or black. That was always just the chrome. As you know, I'm kind of like a blacked out person. But I would have liked to had a full-length drawer. That looks full-length, but it's not. There's these little side guys like on this one. This is a 72, by the way. It just looks really small for some reason, lengthwise. That would have been my number one complaint. I would like to have had 1, 2, 3 full-width drawers if possible, preferably at least one. But my next big complaint would be, I wish that they had 3 large, long drawers. They've kind of changed that around here, so they're making strides. Obviously, I could nitpick this and say, oh, you know, we should be able to fully modularize this and pick it out, you know, since it's like not in store and everything. But they've changed the latch system. The slides are supposedly better. You know, it is what it is. If you want me like breaking this down, I think tomorrow they're supposed to release more information. If we go around the corner here, that looks really, I'm not a red guy, you know that. That looks pretty good. Picture that in like blue or purple or orange. Again, one of the things I've complained about personally, aside from the drawer layout and everything, I don't understand how US General can have all the cool colors. And I cite this multiple times. I say Daytona has a more robust color lineup, and that's not all. At Harbor Freight, Earthquake also has killer color selections comparatively to your flagship, top-of-the-line, King of the Hill toolbox. That was wrong. It needed to be corrected. It looks like they're moving in that direction. I don't think they sell enough of these for it to really matter. I mean, why not offer that in sunburn orange? You know, do something cool. You know, slap the big tool trucks across the face with epic things they're not even doing, right? So this is pretty cool. But again, as a dude that just early this year bought one for his birthday, it's kind of sad to see it come so soon. There's also some things with like some of the drawers are just hellaciously shallow. I wish you could better handle that as opposed to just pulling two and putting a deeper one. And it's like, yeah, that's a solution, but would have been nice if we could have had like halfway between those, right? And still kept 2 drawers or something. Anyway, there's like one more big thing. I think it's in this video. Again, this is actually on YouTube. Those are already out. Right here, the video that would have released today is this, and this was me telling you, I guarantee you, since I bought this, they're going to release it in colors, and it'll be in blue and green and black and things I would like better than red. It looks like that hasn't happened yet, but you can see these tried and true warriors over here, and then an upgrade right there. This is a brand new light. Looks pretty cool, maybe more articulative. But this guy right here is still apparently only in red, so I survive. Again, spoiler, that video will be coming. This is where I'm wanting to go. 1/2-inch drive set. It's not a big deal for me. What do I always bag on Icon about? Particularly the G2 ratchet is largely fantastic. Not much to say, you know, like would have been cool if they didn't just rip Snap-on's head and Matco's lock, but also took Mac's new Max 90 handle. I think they would have if it wouldn't have been not released yet and a known thing. But I always tell you, I'm like, you're comparing yourself to Snap-on, Mac, Matco. What do those tool trucks have that you don't even offer? It's colors. I was super disappointed the G2 ratchets didn't have colored handles, whether it's like kind of a pain to take off. They do it in store, they send it to you and like have a video you can watch online to learn how to do it with soap and water and heat or something. You know, they've gotten the message finally. It took a long time. Icon hand tool has been out a very long time. 2 of their biggest sellers, according to them, hook and pick set, just I think in part that's, you can oftentimes get that stupid cheap. And then the screwdriver set. I've still never tried either one of them. In part, I mangle really good quality picks. I'm not sure what I would do to this, and I've never caught like that good of a deal to fully swing it. Plus, I don't want red at home. The screwdrivers, you're thinking like, how did this guy, the screwdriver guy, not have freaking Icon screwdrivers? Well, number one, the price, and number two, they don't sell them individually without you already having a set. I would buy a number 2 Phillips the day this came out. I do not want to be committed to an 8-piece set, especially in red. Now they're going to offer it in green. Next step, I don't think they're going to murder them out, although that would be cool. Blue. Now, what color's my Icon box? Blue. Right? Which that makes me wonder, you know, the selling point to me on the Icon box, if you watch that video, wasn't necessarily anything else aside from the locker. The locker is really what sold me on it. I wonder if they're going to come out with a locker that's 30-inch deep instantly or not. And then I wonder if they're going to phase out the 25. I don't know. I love those lockers though. But I hope their next step would be blue. And then I hope this takes off and they apply it. Where's the next logical step? Okay, I'll give some grace here. The pliers. That's correct. And then after that, the ratchets. It's well past time, Harbor Freight. And with that, I think we're done. Anything you want to see me hit on, feel free to let me know what that might be. Again, if you want to see like the reaction of a guy that just bought an Icon box, and you know, again, totally go back and watch that video. I'm on the record. I didn't buy it for the box. I didn't buy it for the drawer layout. I thought it was a really good deal. I personally thought it was really good quality. But the lockers, I love the lockers. They're fantastic. Still my favorite thing about the box. But yeah, that does always suck. It's no different if you go out and you buy like, you know, wow, you know, I got a 707 horsepower supercharged car in my garage. And it's like, yeah, 6 months later, here's 797 horsepower, loser. You kind of just have to be aware of that. Things are always going to constantly change, possibly upgrade. You know, it might be a day, you might be like, man, that thing is hideous. I'm so glad I got it when I did. You might be like, well, you know, 797 is too much, or look at the insurance rate difference. But deep down, you know, it's like, oh, dang it. So, where I have the Icon, 30 inches would work. But if I had it on the other side of the shop, I think I would prefer the 25. But that's neither here nor there. If you want that reaction, I'll make it when they release more information. Hutch information, top box, lockers, all that stuff. But it is what it is. So SEMA's going on. You're going to be seeing some new stuff, some new tools. I'm not paid by anyone. I'm not influenced by anyone. I haven't watched other people's videos. Oh, the wind's picking up now if you hear the whole house creak. But yeah, anything in particular you want to see, I can try to make happen. Big thing I wanted to showcase, Dark Gray Friday. More Dark Gray Fridays. This will be your warning. As you saw the schedule here. Let's go back to that. Brace yourself. Good things cometh. All right. Wiha, if you're looking for anything Pro Picks plus the SEMA sale, I haven't really perused. Again, I'm into German and Japanese tools and like tool truck stuff. That's not necessarily like SEMA's not their bread and butter. Okay. So there's not like a ton of stuff, but if I see stuff that kind of strikes my fancy, I'll let you know. But yeah, I'm going to end that. This is, I think, longer than I wanted it to be, but there you go. Harbor Freight, if you somehow see this, again, I provide real-world feedback, and I would love to try the Rivet Gun. But if you don't send one, I'm going to buy it anyway. So, yeah, the Chief, I don't know if I got back to that. That thing really pissed me off. But I will say the McGraw, which is the midpoint in the line, has actually been the best. Again, I could pull out, I've got them. They're all there. I keep them in case I need parts or boots or jaws or something. I can harvest organs, internals, and build one functional rivet gun. They used to come with multiple jaws. I don't think they do that anymore, but I'm very interested in that. The DeWalt rivet gun was actually really good, but again, it broke, and so they're not bulletproof. The good news is, again, it was so new, I got a new one. That one's still kicking. I'm just, you know, kind of like, well, you know, it's probably going to break, but not having an air hose, man, that was nice. I'm not going to lie. So anyway, let me know your thoughts on this. Let me know if you want to see anything else. And again, Advent calendars, easily attainable now. Dark Gray Friday, Black Friday, new tools. It's a good, exciting time. It sucks daylight savings time came and took an hour a day and you drive home the black abyss of the night. But hey, I guess you can look forward to maybe seeing some new tool stuff. So again, let me know if you like these videos, if you want to see more of them intermingled. I kind of try to keep it sparingly. There's so many people, that's all they do. It's like, let's look at a flyer. And I think you can look at a flyer on your own and save a lot of time. At least that's the way I look at it. Granted, if somebody like knows the whole thing, if there is a KC Tool flyer and it's like, hey, I actually own all 28 items, like I become a great source of information, right? If it's Mac and I'm like, hey, I've got experience with, everything in this flyer, that's different. Otherwise, it's like the whole, I don't want to get into it. Now, there's so many things I could say, but hope everyone's doing well, adjusting to the terribleness that is the time change. And I'm going to go. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned a little something. Again, this interrupts your regular tool scheduled video, but I felt like this was worth doing. And if we could ever get to the 10K mark, we're so disgustingly close, as we have been for quite some time, I can finally start releasing the Snap-on videos. And yes, there really are some. And they've been there for 2.5 to 3 years now, the first stack of them. So that would be great. But anyway, I'll quit rambling. If you're ever like, man, this guy really does this stuff at midnight. Like, yes, I do. That's when I have free time. So that said, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Most importantly, hope I catch you back Saturday for what will hopefully be tool-related stuff.